Hi, my name is Claire Bonham and I'm the Chief Executive of the IR's International Institute. We're a youth-led organisation and we exist to empower young people to shape their future. We do this through training projects, through research and through working on the topics that young people tell us are really important to them. I'm really excited to be part of the YOUWEEN Project, Young Women Green Entrepreneurs, as it's a fantastic opportunity to help young women start their own sustainable businesses and give them training and resources to help them do so. In order to make sure that the green entrepreneurship space in the UK is as accessible as possible, it's really important that we hear from young women themselves on their own particular perspectives and on the challenges and frustrations that are unique to them, and also in the ways that as young women they can use their skills and talents to create their own green businesses.
Inclusion to me is having a variety of opportunities for all women, no matter their sexuality, their background, whether they have additional needs or a disability, and they all have equal access to support for their individual needs to succeed in their opportunities.
Inclusion is so much more than tolerance. It is about celebrating the skills and qualities of everybody in the workplace. It is also about making sure that everybody in the workplace has the opportunity to engage equally. This may involve making adjustments so that everybody has the same access to work. For example, women may need childcare facilities within their place of work.
And inclusion means to me a sense of community, that we accept everyone for who they are, and we want everyone to be involved and we want to support them in whatever they want to do.
To me, inclusion means that everyone is presented with the same opportunities no matter who you are, whether you are a woman, whether you're from the LGBTQ plus communities, whether you're from the BAME communities, whether you're disabled. These things that marginalise us within society. I hope one day that, even though we can celebrate differences, we are all provided with equal opportunities and this isn't taken away from us from something that we can't change.
To me, inclusion means that everyone in life is able to access equal opportunities, regardless of gender, ethnicity and socio-economic backgrounds.
Equity to me means that all people have the necessary tools they need to succeed. It goes hand in hand with inclusion because inclusion means welcoming people into your life without judgment or preconceived notions. All people need a community of support in order to succeed in their endeavors, so we have to build an inclusive environment in order for the world to be more equitable. Both words to me incorporate individual changes that we can all make in our lives, helping to create a worldwide ripple effect of treating people with dignity and respect.
There are so many gender inequalities that young women face in the workplace, but as a filmmaker, I'd like to outline the lack of opportunities for young women who want to work in film. A 2020 study showed that 78.9% of all directors were male. There is a clear lack of female representation within the industry due to not having the same opportunities that men do.
I think it is important to note as well that when we do challenge things and we do, express concern or anger or upset in regards to a genuine issue, it can be quite easily dismissed in a workplace, for example, on the basis that, she's just on a period. And using this completely invalidates anything that we do say, and it can sort of bring us into our shell and making us feel like we can't speak.
There are so many pressures on young women to be a certain thing, so when we want to break barriers and pioneer a way for ourselves, we're often discouraged or told to do something else. It can be really difficult to fight these comments and continue to pursue what we're passionate about. But when we have women before us and around us who are supportive of our endeavors, we're better able to ignore those negative suggestions from others. We can then break those barriers put up in front of us and accomplish amazing things.
The misogyny young women experience today leads to gender inequalities in society. This prevents young women from accessing work opportunities and education. This means there is little to no representation of women in many sectors, as well as high profile and power roles, and usually women in these roles are not respected.
Young women in the green entrepreneurship industry face inherent barriers that young men do not face, as green entrepreneurship is a combination of the industries of entrepreneurship and STEM, both of which are incredibly male-dominated industries. Therefore, we need to work hard to level the playing field to give them equal opportunities.
Within the community, we can enact change by speaking about these sorts of issues. It is important to be angry and to recognise the injustices that many women face. Through conversation, we can come up with solutions and can pressure the government and organisations to make change in these areas.
So ways in which we can provide girls to have a voice in this area is by offering workshops or webinars where we have free and open conversations by being transparent in what girls want to see in terms of sustainability, development, but also in general having the opportunity to be first-hand involved in projects, seeing it for themselves, seeing what they enjoy, less enjoy, any gaps in the field. I feel like being first-hand, that's how you'll gain that real knowledge and curiosity to really get involved.
As individuals, we should support young women from the youngest age on. It needs to begin early on in their lives, before school, and it needs to continue throughout their school years. Even if it seems trivial to some, it is very important to support movements such as Women in STEM, The Future is Female, and the Women's March, all of which fight for equal opportunities for women. Also, women consume more green and sustainable products than men, so we should focus on women marketing to women because they know the market and the consumer best.
To be more inclusive and equitable in business and green entrepreneurship, I think that it's key that we are constantly sharing knowledge and information with others, especially with those who may not have the same access to resources that we do.
One thing that we can do as individuals is make sure to support these businesses by donating to them or purchasing products if they're sold. Through a quick Google search, we can find local green businesses that are female-led, and we can choose to shop at these businesses over other large companies that may not be as conscious about their environmental impact. When we choose small businesses over large businesses, we support our own communities and give our neighbors the adequate funding and resources they need to help make the world a better place.
The government have a responsibility to make sure women are in key positions that influence decision making, as well as adding or changing policies to make it easier for women to access employment or become business owners, as well as making it safe for them to work there.
I think one thing that the government can be doing is giving more startup grants to young women. There should be a reward for ensuring that your business is green, and incentives should be given to young women to start their own business. It can be so difficult, especially as a young person, to get the funding necessary to start a business, so the government should be more helpful to those who are starting the process.
I think what governments and organisations can do is work with women and fully listen to them and understand so they can put policies in place to protect women. But to also educate others on the fact that equality doesn't just mean that women have got the vote, it means so much more in that, and to provide platforms for women to be able to speak freely without comments being made about them. You know, it would be really reassuring to see businesses and different companies, you know, putting things in place that's not simply part of a tick box exercise or as a way to reach a quota, because at the end of the day that can be as equally as damaging as reinforcing stereotypes, you know, because you don't want to be in a position as a woman and made to feel like you only got that job because you're a part of a quota, and it's a no reflection of what your skills are or what training you've been through.
I feel like the government are extremely responsible when it comes to being inclusive to entrepreneurship and business, in the sense that they need to be accountable for people's actions, and they need to be representative in terms of who's in the lead, who's making the big decisions, and having young people's voice accounted for and listened to, and having a really strong relationship with what's being said by the people and the actions that are being made as a response to what people want to see happen.
To encourage more equity and inclusion in green entrepreneurship, I think that it's vital that the government provide more resources and information. This could be as simple as providing sessions to schools, colleges and universities talking about green entrepreneurship and discussing how more people can get involved.